Yeah, this is Mike Field, and one of the things I want to talk to you today about was the practice of getting your house ready for the market, especially in this time when we have some more time on our hands. It's important that if you're going to be competing in the spring and summer markets, your house looks as such. So a lot of times when we meet with sellers, they can hide the fact that they may not have the greenest thumb, or the yard might not be the flashiest, or maybe the house just doesn't have that great curb appeal that would stack up to others that may. So this time of year, we always really want to coach and emphasize on making sure that the outside of your house looks as inviting as the inside should, because both aspects are what buyers are going to use to make decisions on whether or not they like the property. So one of the things I want to show you was, if you look at this house behind me here, you'll notice that this is a house that's ready for the market, and it looks as such. Now, what happens is I want to compare this to a property, same house, prior to all this work was done, and let's take a look at it here. So this is what you have to deal with. All right. Now, as you can tell, there's stuff just way overgrown here. You got a flagpole right in the middle of the yard, which again, just doesn't really fit. You got older garage door beat up. You got bushes that you can't even see what kind of house we're talking about here, and just everything's overgrown. There's no walkway. You got older front steps. The driveway's in tough shape. You got a garbage can sticking out here. So that's more of a photography aspect. But when you break this down and you compare this property, the way it looks now with this shot, compared to what happened to get this ready for market in terms of this photo here, you'll quickly understand how things should be looking. And if you're trying to attract buyers to your property, yes, it's going to take a sizable investment to get it to look like this, but at the end of the day, it's going to come back to you. So let's talk about a couple things that we always look at in terms of getting the house ready for sale. We talked about cutting back the trees and the shrubs. They should accent and enhance the house, not hide it. All right. So basic shrub and tree trimming and pruning can yield, impressive curb appeal. And of course, if you have dead or diseased trees, you want to get those out of the way, and any large limbs that really just are obstructing the view of the house and showing it off. The other thing is to manicure your lawn. A lot of people are unfamiliar with what fertilization can do. And, when we line up our professional photography for any listings that we put on, we always try to make sure that the lawn was freshly cut and mowed, trimmed and edged, giving it a special attention before any weekend showings, because that's when we typically see a heightened amount of showings. If you don't have time to do it yourself, there's a lot of reliable landscapers out there that can get this in shape for you and really make it pop when somebody pulls up to the house for that showing. Another thing to do is painting the house. There might be simple as trim. It could just be major undertaking, whatever it is, to make sure that the house looks good. And it might be excessive to try to paint the whole house, but it may be justified depending on the price point you're trying to get and how bad it looks. So color choice is key, whether it's painting the house or the trim. A professional color consultant can help you out with assessing that and coming up with the right design and appeal based on what colors might work with some of the other accents you have, or maybe landscaping, trees, that type of thing. Let's see here. The other thing we always recommend is cleaning the roof and gutters. Having moss on a roof makes buyers think there could be a possible issue with the roof. Just having, we've always see those little saplings growing out of gutters, just makes it look like the house wasn't taken care of very well. So make sure all the gutters are cleared out and the roof is washed, looks tight, and it also makes it look a lot younger and in better shape too. Freshen the walks and driveways, edge these up. Could be just cleaning up with a weed whacker, or it could be actually resetting the paver stones or something to that degree. Make the outdoor spaces inviting. All right, if you have a patio set up outside, and you got the umbrella closed up and the grill covers on, and kids' toys are blocking the pathway to get to the grill. Make that look like when people pull that up, a listing on the MLS or any of the other third-party sites we're looking at, make it look like that person can envision themselves sitting on that deck, enjoying that either deck or patio, whatever it may be, making sure it looks the way it should. Another thing is, if you have a pool, right now, we suggest that you wait until you can show that pool off and that pool looks great. That should be a major selling feature for anybody purchasing a home through the months of, basically May through September. On the tail end of the selling summer season, we always tell people to hold the pool open as long as you can, because you'll get a lot of people that may be looking for that aspect, and to have that covered up really takes away from the showing experience. Plus, they may not be able to experience how good a liner it is, or the shape that the concrete might be in, or what have you. As with staging the inside of the home, the outside of the home should look fresh, clean, organized, uncluttered, and depersonalized, right? So cars, bikes, trash cans, and kids' toys, they should be kept in the garage nice and tight so that everything looks just presentable. And basically, if you could follow this model for these sellers that we helped, this is really how your house should look. Again, new shutters, you got vinyl windows, tons of great looking landscaping. The beds are all edged up here. The walkway was touched up. This walkway was actually the same walkway you saw in that other picture. You can just see it here, all right? They put some hydrangeas, maple tree there, and of course, a new lamppost with the American flag in a much better position here. So kudos to these guys. This house, the way it looked, probably wouldn't surprise you. It only took a couple days to sell. Well, again, with the way this looked, and I could tell you it looked as good inside, but the point here for the sake of discussion is get your house ready to go, make it look like this if you're putting it on in the next few weeks or months, because at the end of the day, people are going to judge the outside just as much as the inside. Whereas during the winter, you might get away with, your house not looking as good from the outside or drive-by. So hope that was helpful. And if there's any tips we can offer to you, we're happy to do in-person consultations or virtual walkthroughs with sellers right now. And hope you have a good rest of your day. That's Mike Fields from Field Realty, and we'll see you out there. Have a great day.